All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Darius Anucauskas, and I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at Markets.com. And today is Friday, ladies and gentlemen, the first of August, the first day of the last month of summer. So I hope the first two were okay for you. Well, actually, I hope they were great, not okay. I hope they were great. Look, I wanted to quickly touch on cryptos, and this is basically the regular weekly crypto update that I do. And I thought I'm gonna just check it out, what's happening with the technical picture in general, what's happening in the world, and which could affect the cryptos. Now, look, before we go any further, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yes, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'm not going to disappear anywhere. So yeah, basically we know that August 1st is a very important day in the tariff world today. So we're seeing many markets, many indices heading south a little bit. But also look, before we jump into all that action, a quick update on the website, which we have, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist. And most importantly, do subscribe to our Markets.com YouTube channel, because again, videos like these you might not miss eventually. So yep. You could see all these videos that are happening kind of straight away when you should be getting the notification. Anyway, you know the drill. Look, very quickly, Bitcoin. So I want to start off with that one, as of course, as usual. There we go. It's working out. It's working out nicely because what I talked about last time, and I talked about this a lot in my previous week's webinars, and basically I was saying that, look, we are stuck in this little range between 116K and 120K. Ish, approximately around there. So we need a clearance through one of the sides, and there we go. We got the breakout. We got the breakout through the lower side. So in a way, this is opening the door to some lower levels. Now, what I'm targeting is the 112 territory right now, approximately around there. That was the breakout point, previous breakout point. I think it was a good one, and it also sits near my 61.8 here on the Fibonacci, 61.8% on the Fibonacci extension, which is, by the way, measured this way. Because so far I am loving this Fibonacci extension, this version of it, because again, don't get me wrong, everything is subjective, but I'm loving this version because it's drawn from the lowest point of August of 2024 to the highest point of January of 2025, and then the lowest point of April of 2025. So now, like I said, we're traveling lower. Around here, we have also the 50-day EMA, which in a way could end up being tested. But what I said to you previously, if you remember, if you watched my previous videos, we had this nice, beautiful rally initially, right? I mean, the beautiful rally was coming from the kind of the signing or the preparation to be of signing the three acts, the Genius Acts, the Clarity Act, and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. Basically, it was last week during the crypto week, as they called it, because on Friday, the U.S. president kind of signed those into action. So basically, kind of giving, telling the SEC to back off, from any future attacks on cryptos. So now, what are we getting? We are getting, of course, it was a positive event. Everybody was like, getting hyped, and it was rally. But what I said to you, and what I was warning, that look, maybe, just maybe, this could have been a buy the rumor, sell the news moment. And in a way, it's so far it seems to be working out exactly that. So this is kind of reminding me the January, this year's January moment, when up to January we were rallying like crazy here for a couple of months, because we knew that the inauguration is coming up, and everybody was like, oh, he's going to mention something during the inauguration and everything like that, but he didn't. And yeah, we saw the nice, beautiful correction lower. So this time it's also kind of almost similar thing. We have we had the rally up until the signing of the acts, and then boom, there we go. We're getting a nice correction lower because everything is kind of fading away, and yeah, we're now seeing a move lower. And now what I'm saying a correction is because we're still trading above this upside line, which is drawn from the lowest point of April. So, and another thing here is like, so for now, we're watching this upside line. We're watching the 50-day EMA. We're watching this 112 territory, all good targets. Now, my problem is that should we be watching lower levels than that? Well, look, when we had this crash in April, right, we also had the announcement of tariffs. And as you know, today's August 1st and the 1st of August, and basically tariffs kicked in for those countries which did not kind of get a deal done with the US, right? Look, we can of course debate the whole tariff thing in general. Is it like legit, or is it is it allowed, or is it moral? Is it is it correct to do so or not? But anyway, we are in this world where we are right now, right? So we have to kind of adjust. So in general, of course, all these tariffs are bad for those exporting countries which are exporting to the U.S. But let's not forget that it is also bad for the domestic consumer, for the U.S. domestic consumer, because again, it kind of raises inflation expectations, and we could see higher inflation coming in. As we know, and then as I mentioned this morning in my Markets Talk webinar, which you can, by the way, join anytime. You can watch the recording as well of it. What I said that, look, for people, we humans tend to have a bit of a lag in terms of accepting when there's a problem or something like that. So this whole rational expectations mentality, and not mentality, but rational expectations approach, where we believe that everything should be okay. However, it takes us time. It takes us time to understand that there is a problem. Normally, it's like about a year, if we're talking about we're talking in economic terms. So basically, at the moment, yes, everything seems to be okay, but we will see, of course, the effects of all these tariffs later on. I think this is where 2026, beginning of 2026, this is where we should start, like, exploring interesting opportunities, because again, look, if inflation starts picking up, and this is in a way, I think it's inevitable, and that's why the Fed continues to support its stance on not doing much, with not going for those cuts. As we know, that this is what's annoying the White House, but I think that the Fed is correct in doing that, because again, inflation, if you look at the U.S. Inflation number, so this is unemployment rate. Let me just jump into the inflation figure. So this is U.S. headline CPI year on year. And look, it's slowly starting. Yes, it is on a decline. However, whatever comes up must come down, and the opposite works as well. So if you would ask me to apply technical analysis on this, I mean, we have a strong decline and then a gradual decline. It kind of leads to a pop later on. So that's what I'm going to keep an eye on. This is for now what I'm watching very carefully. Of course, we see that the US dollar right now is also on a bit of a move to the upside. Where's that US dollar? So, yep, we're above, or actually we're flirting with that 100 level. And if we clear that, I think that, yes, it can open the door to some higher levels. So for now, looking at these cryptos, I think that there is potential for some more downside to go, especially on Bitcoin here. And then at near the 112 zone, I'm going to be very careful, very cautious. I mean, if it breaks to the downside, then yeah, it's opening the door to some lower levels. Let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is within a nice rising channel pattern, but after testing the upper side is now drifting lower. And I talked about this little hurdle here, the 563 territory. If we do fall below it, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards the downside. Ethereum correcting nicely to the downside. Yes, I have this Fibonacci retracement drawn here, and the 23.6 sits comfortably around that 3,510, maybe 3,500 zone. So that's a good area to watch. If we clear the 3,500, I think that we could go a little bit lower here. Ripple is flirting with that psychological 3 level, and basically if we continue to trade below the psychological 3 level, I'm going to continue targeting the downside. Litecoin, similar story. I said that if we do fall below the 106.60 zone, which is the highest point of May, I will go a little bit to the downside. So far so good. Again, looking at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is resting nicely on my EMAs here on the daily chart. So let's see if we can rebound back up. But if it's not, then yes, I'm going for this upside line here, taken from the lowest point of August of 2024. Polkadot is drifting a little bit to the downside here as well. Look, it's clearing some key support levels. So to be honest, I'm not really very bullish on this one. And Tron, also a very nice one. I like Tron. Let's see if we can rebound from this upside line. If we cannot, and if we start falling somewhere below the 0.32 territory, I'm leaning towards the downside, ladies and gentlemen. So look, that was a quick little video update on the cryptos. Hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, ladies and gentlemen, your views, your likes, your comments, everything. So yeah, look, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, in order not to miss any of these upcoming videos. And yeah, we'll go from there. But look, if I'm not going to see you, I wish you a good, nice weekend. I hope you will enjoy it. And I'll see you on Monday. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and bye-bye.